Rizwan probably pack the offside and try and hit him through the covers, because he does change bowlers' lines and lengths the way he moves right across his stump. He's got to be always watching his feet running in as a bowler.
This has gone miles. Over deep backward square. 6 more for Rizwan.
Little Rizwan at his very best, just toying with the bowling. And Young had no answers, back-to-back sixes. This time was slightly fuller in length, but that movement across, Rizwan was really eyeing that boundary. And the execution has been top-notch.
He's very, very difficult to bowl at. And here we go again. It's the box of balls. Some lovely gardens around this cricket ground, the Castle cricket ground in Half. I should imagine some of these balls going up so high have dented some of the lawns.
Yeah, lawns, none of the windows have been damaged just yet.
Look at those hands.
You did mention the other day about him being a hockey player.
What? Yeah?
Those hands with the flick, and
you know what he could do? He could take the sweets from in front of the shopkeeper, in front of him, and the shopkeeper wouldn't even see him.
Well,
and Rizwan would be walking out the shop, chewing those sweets.
If he runs, he'll be out of sight with no time. I mean, you can't catch him anyway.
It's great to watch. 46 for 1. Rizwan steaming ahead here. He's gone after everything. He's literally throwing those hands at everything that comes his way.
That was a slog, but he's seeing them so very well. This time was probably from way outside the off stump as well. He's got the measure of Young, there's no doubt about it. And Young will have to come back with something special. Rizwan has got him for 17 of the over in just 4 deliveries.
Yeah. It's difficult now. You've got to steel yourself up as the bowler here, Craig Young.
Bring out your left arm quicks hat, and what lines, what would be you will be doing to Rizwan if he's in that?
I would try and get it as full as I could into his toes to stop him using those hands. That's easier said than done, but you've got to back yourself. Got to look for the Yorker, got to look for something at his toes that he's not going to be able to put away. That's superb. Well done. That's a good follow-up. Good riposte from the bowler.
Yeah, every now and then we've seen this little something in the pitch for the bowlers. That's what, see, when Ireland would be looking at the scorecard, they would be thinking that there was an opportunity and they've let it go. 50 inside 5 overs is way too many.
Yeah, it is. Come on, finish the over now, Craig Young. Do it for your country. Well bowled. I might look for a second. No, they won't. Guess what? Rizwan's got the strike. 51 for 1, 5 gone.
Advantage Pakistan in a big way. They're in control of this match. They're in control of this series. Ireland have to keep fighting, have to find a way into Pakistan's middle order. To do that, they'll obviously need wickets, and Curtis Campher will be turned to as the 4th bowler to be used. Remember, no Gareth Delaney, no Barry McCarthy. So Ireland shy of a few bowling options as I wish a early good evening, a late good afternoon to Isabel Joyce. Pakistan's game to lose from here.
It absolutely is. 50 up in the 5th over is a difficult one for Ireland. Curtis Campher starts off with the full wide one, and it goes through the gap in extra cover. Sprawling mid-off, can't cut that one off, and it's a boundary to start out his spell.
Yeah, you think of a total target in and around 180, 179 it is to win. You think you're always in the game having those runs on the board, but the combination of a very fine batting surface, maybe the best of the three pitches we've played on, and then the small boundaries in and around Clontarf, well, everything's pointing towards the visitors turning this series around and taking it 2-1. Something Ireland have shown, though, in recent times, the last probably 9 to 12 months, is a lot more character, a lot more fight. Can they pull this out of the fire somehow?
I think it's probably one of the more difficult ones to pull out of the fire, because even though it's a matchup from the first innings, Ireland 42 for 1 at the same point. So it's not that far away, but that's the value in batting second, because those final 7 overs, Ireland really didn't make Pakistan pay. They went from 129 for 2 in the 13th over and then just made it to 178. So the winning of the game, if Pakistan do get the win, will have been in those 7 overs where Ireland's middle to lower order just didn't fire. And that's not what we usually say. We're normally saying they've kind of saved Ireland, and today it didn't come off for the Ireland middle order.
Yeah, what a wonderful platform Ireland had at 129 for 2. I thought Tucker played as fluently as I've maybe ever seen in this format in particular. And then there was a nice effort again from Andrew Balbirnie, but even though Harry Tector made 30, just numbers 5 through 8, nothing came.
Absolutely nail on the head. And I think for Tucker, a lot of the time he engineers runs. It doesn't look as fluent, but today he stood and hit the ball as well as I've seen him. Slower delivery from Camphor, good thinking from him. The two fielders are out in the deep on the leg side. But yeah, Tucker just played regular cricket shots on regular occasions, and a lot of the time we see him engineering laps and sweeps and moving around in the crease, dancing down, just based on a decision he's made before the ball innings for him today.
And the big question with his captaincy hat on now is where is he going to turn? Ireland have to keep fighting, have to keep believing. We both feel quite strongly it's in Pakistan's hands for the moment. But T20 cricket is a funny beast. 2 or 3 good overs, you're right back into the game, into the contest. And they will get the ease now with the fielding restrictions, going to 5 outside the circle after this final delivery of the power play. If you're Lorcan Tucker, what are you thinking about for the remaining 14 overs? Getting spinners involved?
Well, you've got Ben White, obviously. The problem is that he won't want to bowl to the short straight boundaries, so he probably won't come on the next over. He does have 2 right-handers to bowl to, so he'll be happy with that. George Docker was bowling a lot. He always bowls a lot in the warm-up, so he's putting his name in the hat as well. And then you've got Harry Tector, who we haven't seen ball in hand. So a lot of spin options, so they're there for Tucker.
It's been a really good power play. That's been a point of some weakness for Pakistan in recent times, but they'll be delighted with that. End of the 6th, 60 for 1. Paul Stirling was telling us about not wanting to go to spin because of the small boundaries. Is that a huge concern?
I don't think so. I mean, we saw Imad Wasim has been the best of the bowlers for Pakistan in some respects. So he's given you an indication of what you can do. I do think that Imad Wasim shows what you can do with spin bowling. They did seem to avoid Andy Balbirnie, though, with his bowling. As soon as Andy Balbirnie's out, he came on. So they've picked their players that they're happy to bowl spin to, and it's pretty much just anyone but Balbirnie. So maybe for Ireland, if they can get one or both of these out, they'll feel a little bit more comfortable with spin.
Interesting. The young is going to continue. Aggression continues from Mohammad Rizwan. Look at those numbers, 40 off 18 before that delivery.